The other thing I was going to say
is... Would you let him dangle some chicken in front of your face and be like, look at how territorial they are?
No.
You wouldn't want him to wrestle you like a croc?
No, I didn't say no to that.
She's doing the death roll. I'm Chris Hansen. Welcome to the I have a headache, but does it hurt if I yell podcast?
I do have a headache.
I don't know. Did I use that last time we recorded? Did I say that last time? I kind of also fucked it up. I didn't say it. I kind of stuttered a little bit.
I have a headache, but it doesn't hurt if I yell.
Yeah.
Because I know the sound's coming.
If you hear any I'm Jake and I'm a Grass Daddy, and as my last resort co-host, I have Lena here because my friends don't want to hang out with me anymore. I'm just kidding.
I'm forced to.
I kind of put this episode... I didn't put it off, but I kind of didn't do any hardcore planning for this episode. Mm-hmm. And I had an episode banked up, so I've basically gone on like a 2-week vacation from the pod while still being able to record. It was kind of nice. I mean, there's kind of perks to banking up episodes, but we are recording now, and there
are 2 gremlins in here with us.
Yeah, if you hear any, what I was about to say was if you hear any scratching, or if we randomly just yell, hey, like that.
My head hurts, but it doesn't hurt when I yell.
It's because our cats are in here because it gets kind of chilly in the pod studio because I've closed the vent.
Oh.
I've got this climate controlled to my liking because when there's 3 or 4 guys in here boozing it up and yelling and getting all, getting all larried up, then
it gets kind of hot.
It gets kind of hot.
Yeah.
So I like to keep it a little colder in the podcast studio. You all right?
Yeah.
You tired?
I am tired.
Maybe there'll
You're
be
just
an
boring me, actually.
Maybe there'll be an energy drink in the mini fridge or something. I don't know.
Better not be.
But so I got the door open trying to let some warm air in, and that's why our cats are in here. Maybe once they explore a little bit, maybe they'll settle down.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are. If you see the camera shaking right now, it's because one of our cats is fucking with the tripod.
I have to put my scent on this tripod.
Come here, Stinky. Come here.
Back twitch.
Like I said, Lena is my love. What are you doing?
I'm ready.
No, that's not how it works.
Oh,
you don't just rip open the mini fridge. You're sitting in a very important spot right now. You are in the mini fridge manning position. Yeah. And I'm going to need some more responsibility out of you.
I'm sorry,
besides
sir.
Just grabbing the handle and getting ready to jerk it open.
Yes, sir.
Before we had the chance to knock. Don't call me sir. I don't like that. That's kind of weird.
What were you saying before I tried to open the fridge? I'm your last resort?
Yeah.
Something about that.
Lena is sitting in. I don't really have any topics per se prepared, but I mean, I do maybe have a couple little things up my sleeve. I'm just kidding. It's not like we're gonna play a game for a trophy or anything.
Okay.
But I do have something pulled up here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
He's scaring me.
Why?
I don't know. You're just being so secretive.
All right.
Let me say something. Once you get like 4 years into a relationship, anytime your partner is like, do you want to do this thing? Or I have this thing that's somewhat of a surprise. You're like,
because you think I'm going to like dump you live on the pod or something?
No.
What are you nervous about then?
No, not nervous necessarily. I'm talking about a ring, baby.
Oh.
But I think you know.
That's the very opposite of a breakup.
Yeah. That's why I said once you're like 4 years into a relationship.
Oh.
That was the important
See,
precedent.
my mind didn't even go there. But I'm not a girl.
Can I open this mini fridge? Knock, knock.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh. Sorry, Phil.
You gotta knock, and there's got to be a little bit of anticipation built up, but
okay. Hello?
So we're having curry after this, right?
Yes.
Just kidding.
Can I open it?
Yeah, you can open it. Let me scoot my laptop here. Go ahead and open it all the way up. So the display factor kind of loses its voila when we can only open it like 20 degrees. Ooh, little PBR. You better behave. I'm drinking PBR. Not a lot of people get what that means.
Cup? Bigfoot
cup.
Maybe we should talk about Bigfoot.
I'd be down.
You can close it.
Okay.
Oh.
How many were in there? Were there 2 in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a lucky guess.
Well, you could probably see it in the lovely video recording reflection.
It's awesome that they that the mini fridge gave me a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
When I kind of have an affinity for it.
When you are Bigfoot?
No, I wouldn't necessarily call myself Bigfoot.
Have you told that story on the pod?
I don't know. I mean, there's... I have to give... I have said this, what I've said before, what I'm about to say on the pod before.
Okay.
When I'm listening to Two Bears and Bert
tells a story he's told 500 times.
Yeah, it's annoying to me because I'm like, oh my god, why? Like, we've literally heard you say this, and it also annoys me when Tom doesn't go like,
you've already told
you've said this, like he just goes along with it. But not that I'm anywhere comparable to them, but having been on a podcast now that's uploaded 67 episodes,
yeah,
and being a person that tells a lot of funny stories and encounters,
yes, I
get why he does it, because I forgot who I've told it to before. Yeah. I don't know how many people I've told this story to. I don't know if I've mentioned this on an earlier podcast. So I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I guess I'll tell it. And if anyone's like, you've already fucking told this before, I'm sorry. And you can help me tell it since you were there. But before I do that, I'm going to side pour this PBR right into this Bigfoot glass.
Can I start on it while you do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we went to a music bingo night with a...
Side note, is it weird to pour out of a bottle into another glass?
No, I don't think so.
I just kind of wanted an excuse to use this. I mean, the mini fridge knew that I had it, wanted to... Fuck.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Anywho,
no, we'll leave it in. We'll leave it in.
So we were at a music bingo thing with a friend couple of ours, and we did the music bingo. Whatever. It was at a brewery. It was
you're telling a story like Cam.
I know, but I'm getting to the point.
No,
that's all details.
That's not the way a story works. You don't get to the point. You build up to the point.
But that point has nothing to do with the story.
It does, though.
How?
No, the story has everything to do with the point.
Okay, so we were at music bingo. I got 1 beer. Jake got 3 beers. Actually, I think I got a flight.
How do you know how many beers I had?
I don't know. I'm making that up just to put in fake details. So we were at music bingo. We played a couple rounds. I don't think we won anything. That's the end of that part of the story.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me say.
Go ahead.
You bared witness to it, but it was my thing.
I was literally right there.
Okay, so here's the story. Okay? You want to hear a good story?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
You tell stories like my dad.
Excitingly.
He does tell good stories, but sometimes you're like, okay, get to the frickin' point. All this extra fluff I don't need. Okay. I want to know.
Okay, here is the stuff I wanted mentioned.
Okay.
That makes it a little bit more of a funny payoff.
Okay, go.
So, when we're out with a group of friends, Lena, and God is my witness, can bear to the fact that when I get a little bit buzzed, the jokes start flowing a little bit more, and I'm talking a little bit more, and sometimes I get a little weird, I guess. Like,
your inhibitions are lower, just like any other person who drinks.
I'm already kind of a nut goofball.
Yes.
But then you mix alcohol into it, and you
Oh,
never know
boy.
what's going to happen. So we're sitting there. I'm kind of getting buzzed, and I'm just like, I like talking about Bigfoot, so I'm just gonna bring it up. And what happened was, people would come over to our table, and I just started randomly asking them, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?"
I don't remember that, to be fair.
You don't remember Eli's coworker coming over, and I go, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" And she was like, "No," and I was like trying to vouch for him.
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
See, that is a crucial part of the story.
I will give you that. That is a crucial part of the story. Okay.
And this other guy that was a couple tables closer to us, I can't remember if I asked anyone else. It was Eli and Summer. We were talking about Bigfoot a little bit. And then Eli's coworker came over, and I asked her, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" So I was kind of on this, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" thing to strangers.
Yes.
And as we were leaving, this guy was walking by, and
we were walking out the door.
Have to be funny for you guys, because it's almost like doing a callback joke later on in a set.
Yeah.
As he was walking out, I pointed at him and I go, "You believe in Bigfoot?" And he pauses, turns and looks at me. And
up and down. He gives Jake the up down.
I was getting there.
Oh, sorry.
He turns, looks at me, and goes like this, gives me an up and down head to toe, and he goes, "Now that I'm looking at him," and he turns and walks out. And I go, well, that type of tomfoolery that I was performing just kind of backfired a little bit.
No, because it's
Not
one of
really,
the best
though.
stories. I love.
But it was funny that I was the one trying to be goofy and dumb, and he was like,
he was quick with it,
and he was like, "I'm also funny, and yes, you are being goofy and dumb.
Yes.
See ya."
Yeah.
And just pieced out of there. Almost like putting me in my place comedically. You know what I mean? This PBR is pretty good. I haven't really been drinking at all. Basically all of January, besides New Year's and when Spencer and Ben and I recorded, and whatever I drank on that is all I've drank basically all of
a damp
January.
You're doing a damp January.
That's our mechanic at work said that he's doing a dry January, and then he's like, I don't remember what happened there, having people over or something, or maybe I don't know. Some people were, it might have been around New Year's or something. He was having some extended family, and I think he was getting a little annoyed or something. He's like, I caved. He's like, so we're doing damp January. Like a moist January. Like we're doing a little.
Gulp.
But I've only got 2 beers here.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the rule is if you have 2 or less, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
I think that's a general rule of thumb when it comes to soberness. And it also probably depends on the frequency of those 2.
I was going to say, I think
If you're like coming back from the bar going, I'm only having 2 at a time, so it doesn't count. And you do it 6 times in a night.
Yeah.
I don't think that really counts.
No. I think as long as you like dramatically, maybe not even dramatically, decrease the amount of alcohol you consume as a person, not you specifically, then it can be called whatever the fuck you want it to be.
Going from 3 to 4 beers every day after work and 6 plus on the weekends.
You did not have 3 or 4 beers every day after work.
I had some spurts.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
You don't know what I'm doing down in the basement.
No, to be fair, I don't. This is your domain.
It wasn't like every day I was having 4 beers.
Exactly.
But sometimes if I was getting on a roll playing games with the guys like 2 or 3 or 4 days in a row, sometimes I'd have like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 beers.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm yawning so much.
Well, like, do you remember when Cole and Rachel came over for movie night and I was like buzzed?
Yeah.
The one time it was I came home from
the retirement party?
Yeah, but then the following week I was just buzzed from just drinking a lot of beers, and this just on a Tuesday night. So I was kind of, I don't know. But like anyways, doing that, drinking quite a few beers consistently versus drinking 2 in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're still going to be in a
deficit. It's like the question they ask you when you go to the doctor's office. They give you the questionnaire. It's like, how often do you want to kill yourself? 0, never.
Oh, yeah, when you have to do the mental health thing.
Yeah, how many drinks do you think you have per week? Or, like, do you have, like, 1 a week? Do you have 1 a day? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was just recently filling that thing out at my last visit. And I was like, the questions were like, how often do you think about harming yourself? And I'm like, never. And it was like, how often do you feel unmotivated and you can't, like, get out of bed? And I'm like, never. I'm like, if I answer all of these as if I have perfect mental health, are they going to be like, okay, you don't need meds anymore?
No.
Or is it just to make sure the meds are working?
Yeah, that, and just to, like, make sure that the patient's okay, I think.
Yeah, but also...
I mean, if you're on meds, because the meds are helping that, so you wouldn't.
Right. But I think it's funny if you're basically filling out a questionnaire telling them, I don't need meds, but it may be because of the meds.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm medicated. No, anyways. So.
Well, you are medicated, and I'm medicated. And I also...
And Dr. Phil's medicated.
And Dr. Phil's medicated, and he believes in other people being medicated, too. The idea that
Pauly
people...
Shore's probably medicated.
He should be if he's not.
I know that there's such a glare on that it's probably not that visible, but...
We'll explain it in a minute. Can I get through what I was saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you keep interrupting me, I'm going to have to unplug your mic or something, though.
I think it was the other way around.
Oops.
Anywho,
half a beer gets me kind of woo. Now my tolerance is so low.
We also haven't ate anything. I think if I had a glass of wine right now, I'd be fucking drunk.
Really?
I'm starving. Yeah. What I was saying is the idea that some people, and I have specific people in mind. I won't name them. But the idea.
Do I know them?
Yes. The idea that some people don't want to take medication to feel better is stupid to me. Why wouldn't you take medication to feel better?
Right. I think sometimes those people are like, if I can't figure it out myself, then that makes me weak and I don't want to be dependent on a drug.
Well, but then, like, those same people that I know are also, like, on fucking birth control. It's not... Honestly, one is probably doing worse shit to you than the drugs for your mental health. Birth control is probably worse for you than fucking sertraline or Lexapro or shit.
And what I'll say to that is, the word depression can mean different... Like, there's different versions of being depressed.
Yes.
There are some versions of being depressed that are situational or short-term.
Agreed.
Like, if you got dumped or if a family member passed away,
yeah,
you might be depressed. But there also might be a chemical imbalance in your brain that you can't control no matter what kind of mindset you have. And that mindset is probably being affected because of the serotonin levels in your
100%.
brain. 100%. So...
And if it's hindering your everyday life.
Right.
If it's causing you emotional distress. Anywho, the podcast...
Why would you want to wallow in it?
Exactly.
Is what you're saying. Why wouldn't you want to feel normal?
Why and like better yourself by doing so. I don't know. The podcasts are never as funny when I'm on. I feel like I'm a very am I a serious person? I can be goofy.
You like talking about serious topics.
Yeah, I really do.
Because you're too smart to sit here and talk about poop and boogers.
Well, I will talk about poop and boogers.
Or jerking off. Which are like shit, drinking, being drunk, and talking about jerking out is basically the three main topics. I don't even know if I said three things, but are basically the backbone of this podcast.
I'm pretty sure I brought up poop and boogers on the podcast with Bailey and Cam.
But I know you were just trying to fit in, and you were. But what I'm trying to say is, you're an intellectual person.
Yeah, I like.
You like talking about politics. You like talking about real topics that are going on.
I like thinking about shit. Yeah. And talking about it with other people and like seeing what they think about shit too.
And I can talk about that stuff too, but that's not the primary focus I wanted for this podcast.
Yeah.
Not saying that what we're talking about is wrong.
No, yeah.
because
you are very intellectual, but you can also be very funny. Yeah.
Right.
And why not share the funniness with and then save the intellectual shit for when another intellectual joins you? Spencer?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
Cam? No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone that's ever been on here? No.
I think Ben could have a deep conversation with you. I think Trace.
If he took a couple bong rips.
I think Cam.
Any one of those guys could.
Yes.
But usually I have some stuff and I'm steering the conversation where I want it to go.
Yeah.
And it's usually towards to talk about something funny or get them to say something funny or.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, all of them could have a very deep conversation.
Oh,
with
yeah.
me. That I didn't mean to discredit anyone, and I was 100% joking. No one come for me, please.
They're not watching this. None of them are.
Oh, I come on and they're like, fuck Jake's podcast?
They don't watch it,
Oh,
period.
in general? Okay.
Cam doesn't watch any of the episodes of his co-hosted podcast.
I mean, fair.
And I'm not throwing shade at Cam.
No, because do you watch it?
I usually listen back to the episodes because stuff like the mini fridge, cutting out the mic audio.
When you're editing or after you've published it?
After I've published it.
Oh.
B, if a funny clip happens,
you want to
then I timestamp it and use it for a short on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because when you're recording, it's so much more of a feel or a different vibe than consuming it as a listener.
Yes.
Because I can kind of detach.
Yes.
And pretend like I'm a listener listening to these guys, even though I'm one of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can view it from a listener's standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I have no issues with listening to myself talk, and that maybe plays into my narcissism or sociopathy, but
narcissist.
But I do kind of view it as like self-research.
No, I
can like build off of different things that we've done or talked about, or just I don't know. Or sometimes I just like to go, that was a good pod, and I kind of want to just listen back on it.
I mean, when I edit my podcast, does the cat die? When I edit it,
shameless plug.
Yeah. But when I edit it, I listen through the whole thing, which is why editing takes...
Before you edit? Or while you're editing?
While I'm editing. I don't, skip ahead at all, because I want to find, anything that's wrong. And also, I say a lot. Because it's also different when you're...
Oh, my God.
But it's also different when I'm talking to you versus, when I'm telling a story. I say, a lot more, and, we'll have to pause and do stuff, and... So I listen through the whole way when I'm editing it, but then I don't listen to myself again. But I've already listened to it, so I don't need to...
You don't cut out every time you say, do you?
No, unless there's, a big pause. If I'm like,
If there's some dead air.
Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Then I would, cut it. You know what I mean?
Now I'm going to have to timestamp that pause and edit it out. I'm not going to, but...
I was going to say.
But yeah, finding funny clips, especially going back and... listening, there was a nice going back and listening to old episodes to find old clips.
Yeah.
Because I used to not really listen to very many of them.
Yeah.
But now I sometimes, if a funny clip happens that I know is going to be a good clip, I'll just type it in now while we're recording.
Yeah.
I'll look at what time that was.
That's smart.
The last episode I just uploaded with Ben and Spencer, Ben said something really funny right at the beginning, a minute and 30 in. And he was like, I felt like the pod went downhill from this point. I was like, no, it didn't. It was really funny, though. Go ahead and check it out on the Grass Daddies TikTok. I just uploaded it today.
Since we still have TikTok.
We do still have TikTok. Hey, don't get political.
I'm not going to. Not on this podcast. You can listen to Does the Cat Die if you're wondering.
Do you talk about politics on there?
Oh, fuck yeah. The last one.
Oh, shit.
The last one we recorded and uploaded. I just uploaded not that long ago. The first 10 minutes are dogging on certain politicians.
On that same topic, do you want to get me my second beer?
Oh, yeah.
We need to figure out a better way, because what you're opening it right now is like 90% of the way it gets opened. And so, like, people, there's actually no point in having it as a display purpose up here because they can't see.
But it's more magical.
Well,
it just comes out the side.
I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe there is still an illusionatory. That's not a word. An illusionatory factor to it. Striving factor.
I said that the other day in normal conversation, and
I said I have a striving factor.
Yeah, but I think I was kind of like trying to be funny about it, but it just stuck in my head. I don't know why.
Did you say it to someone?
Yeah.
What'd they say? Did they correct you?
No.
Were they like, what the fuck? What? Jack of Hearts. I don't know if I have that one yet.
I think Cam's like little clip of I have a striving factor
just got stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can spill some more stuff on my computer.
Jake's computer is the keys literally like stick down for 3 seconds when you push.
I actually almost did.
It's amazing it still works, to be honest. And I hate typing on it. I don't know how it doesn't bug you. So
we really need to get shock mounts for these mics. Even, I don't know. I don't even know if that would help.
For what?
Did you hear that fucking boom when I just set the bottle down on the table? Oh yeah, that's 100% getting picked up by the mics.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's not blowing out the whatchamacallit.
It's not blowing it out, but it's still getting picked up. Anyways.
Oh. So are we going to talk about our Lord and Savior, Dr. Phil?
Our Lord and Savior? Yeah, we can talk about him.
Talk about this picture.
So, let me tell you a little bit about this picture. Or do you want to? Why don't you? I've done a lot of talking.
Okay.
I'm going to mute my mic.
Oh. Okay. You can still like...
My mic's muted. I can't say anything.
Okay.
I can't.
So Jake and I went through a phase there where we were watching a lot of Dr. Phil live. If you don't know what Dr. Phil live is, it's not Dr. Phil. It is... Can you unmute? What is his name?
Adam Ray.
Thank you. Adam Ray, who dresses up as Dr. Phil and does like set during each of his lives. He's a comedian. It's funny. What can I say? And you joined...
Can I give a little backstory?
Yeah, go for it.
So I was listening to It Two Bears, as I always mention, and there was a podcast, and I had seen glimpses of him. Mm-hmm. Am I getting that buzzed off of just fucking one beer? I'm fucking slurring my words. Anyways.
I can act drunk too if you want.
It makes you
feel better.
No, I had seen glimpses of him on Kill Tony. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really think anything of it. And then I listened to the Two Bears, the first one he was on. Mm-hmm. And there was multiple times that I was LOLing. And I know what I was spraying weeds on the driving range. Mm-hmm. And I was just like driving back and forth. And I was just listening to it like, this is the funniest fucking podcast I've listened to in a while.
Yeah.
And I think I told you to listen to it, or maybe I listened to it again with you, or...
I think we listened to it in your...
we watched it. Well, I don't remember.
You definitely showed me the part where he talks about grape soda.
There's so many funny parts.
But I think we listened to it in your truck. Like, the whole thing we just listened to.
Yeah, there was... And Cam, I was like, dude, you have to listen to this. I still don't think he ever did. He was like, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it. I think there was one time he snapped me. He's like, I'm going to listen to it today. Because I'm not doing anything important. I can listen. And he didn't.
Oh, I miss Cam.
But,
Bailey, I miss him. So we were on a Kill Tony streak.
Well, actually, just a Dr. Phil live.
Yeah, Dr. Phil live. And
which is kind of like Kill Tony, but not really, in the sense that he would have other comedians come on as guests, and then do just... He does a lot of crowd work. That's usually how he starts
Phil.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I forgot I was letting you tell the story.
So while Jake throws up over there, I'm going to continue.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was just into the mic.
And we were watching this episode, and they're at comedy. Is it called the Comedy Club?
It is
in LA?
called the Comedy Mothership. No, I'm sorry. The Comedy Store.
The Comedy Store.
The Comedy Mothership is where Kill Tony does a lot of his episodes. And it's like Joe Rogan, like, basically paid for it or whatever. Like, made it.
Yeah.
Like a comedy club. But this is the Comedy Store.
Yes. So, and...
I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
And, I almost said Jake. Dr. Phil,
hey.
It's like almost the end of the episode. Cut me off if I'm not doing this justice.
Well, just so the outline of the show is he comes out, does some crowd work, goes, tonight is all about, and he has like a theme.
Yes.
He goes, Merriam-Webster dictionary, whatever, describes, and then he has like a guest come out, talks to them. He basically does like an interview.
Yes.
And it's filled with like jokes and whatnot, and
we'll be right
some
back.
crowd work mixed in every now and then. And then he usually has his buddy, who's like a lesser known comedian, come out,
and who beats up.
Yeah, who's like dressed up as a character.
Yeah, sometimes like a prisoner, sometimes like an old.
Yeah, Shanks is the prisoner one. One time he came out as like a Starbucks window employee.
Yep.
One time he came out as AI Mark Norman, which is hilarious.
But he like essentially is like breaking the rules, I put in quotes, or like doing something wrong, and then Dr. Phil's like, I told you tonight was gonna be all about blah blah blah, and then they do like a fake fight thing.
Yeah, he like fake beats him up with like sounds, like punch sounds.
So that had already happened in this episode. When
this was like the very end.
Because at the end of every episode, Dr. Phil then
like the lights come down and it's like a spotlight on him, and he's giving like a wrap up, like emotional, whatever. Even though he's still like working in jokes and he's not like serious necessarily. So he's doing that in this episode. He's basically doing like an emotional closing monologue.
Yeah, exactly. So he's doing that in this episode, and he's saying something. I don't even remember what he's saying.
I know exactly what he was saying.
What was he saying?
He was doing some crowd work because earlier in the show there was this lady that had a weird name, and they were basically memeing her. Yeah. And he like looks down at her and he's like, "What's your real name, sweetheart?" And then you just hear someone yell, and then
so Dr. Phil looks back. What's the dude's name again?
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore is just hanging out like in the curtains behind him, and Dr. Phil looks back forward towards the crowd, and then does a double take and looks back again, and he's just like dumbfounded. He doesn't talk for a couple of minutes, and then Pauly Shore's just like standing there, like he's got his shoulders kind of scrunched up. He's got on orange sweatpants and a flannel.
Sweatpants always almost remind me of like when I first saw those, I was like, is he wearing like a Fred Flintstone? Like,
yeah, they're orange with like black lightning bolts. He looks like he's had a day, and it's not been a good one.
He looks so for the audio only listeners, he basically looks like a homeless man that's strung out.
And he kind of acts like it too.
And what happened in the episode is, while Phil is giving his closing heartfelt sentimental monologue, you see Pauly Shore just emerge in the background. But since they have the spotlight on Phil and they have the house lights down, you don't even know who it is because you just see a shadowy figure, and then they basically move another light onto him to illuminate him because the crowd yells.
Yeah, because someone points him out.
And Phil obviously had no idea because you can tell it's a genuine what is happening because he hears someone yell. And he turns around and sees Pauly, and then he like double takes because he's like, holy shit, that is Pauly.
But he doesn't say anything right away. Like, he does a double take, and they're both just, like, staring at each other.
There's a moment where they're both just... And he doesn't know why he's... Some more background on this, which makes it even funnier, is that...
Pauly Shore owns the place.
Pauly Shore's mom...
started it.
Missy? Or Mitzi?
I'll look it up.
I'm gonna sound like a fake fan for not knowing. I think it's Mitzi.
I think you're right. I think it is Mitzi, but I'll look it up while you're talking.
So basically, like, his mom, maybe even his mom and dad, I don't know.
I think it was just his mom.
His mom...
At least that's what they say in the episode.
Like, started the Comedy Store in L.A. for, like, comics to come in and do...
Mitzi.
So, what's even funnier about this interaction is it's almost like, in my mind,
the big boss is coming in.
In my mind, knowing that like his mom had like started this, I'm like, is Pauly Shore just like lurking around at the Comedy Store, just like walking the halls and just like since
the
he
principal
has
sitting in on a teacher, he's just
Right.
like popping in on some of the shows.
Does he have so much street cred in the Comedy Store that he can just walk out on stage during other people's sets unannounced?
but dressed genuinely like he got
A
dressed
bum.
in the dark.
He's got like a flannel shirt just strung over his shoulder.
I think he literally has
He's kinda
slippers on too.
He's kind of like sagging. No, he
And
looks like
there's-
he's got like dirty black like New Balances on.
He does actually. And he does not, his facial expressions, he is blank as shit. Like it is just no facial expression whatsoever.
And he made no attempt to we are really dissecting this scene, but I love this scene. This is
so
why it's so
good.
funny. And I'm not kidding you, we rewound this and watched this like 15 times
Yeah, I
because
made Jake
Lena
go back
was crying laughing. I was dying laughing too, but what's also funny about this interaction is he made like no attempt to like come further up the stage. Like he was content
I think
with
Dr. Phil
staying
literally
in the
was
back.
like, "Come here, Pauly."
Well, yeah, like he looks at him right after this moment. Like Pauly just like kind of went for like an awkward salute, like keep doing your thing, man. I'm just popping in. And Phil was like, come down here, Pauly. And he basically like put his arm around him and was like continuing his monologue
Yeah.
with Pauly there. And then he basically just like, once Phil was like done addressing
He
him,
just walks away
he
slowly.
just like turns
and-
around and walks away.
But he doesn't walk away. He doesn't just like leave the stage.
he kind of goes like
He walks away and then he kind of looks back a little bit.
he's confused,
and then
maybe.
Like he literally, yeah, it's so funny. We might have to like.
And then Phil goes, I'm not actually sure that was Pauly Shore. That was the last little thing he says about it, and then it's just,
It's so.
and then
good.
that was it.
We might
it
have
was-
to like list the episode in the description of your podcast because
I'm down.
Because we can't talk about it and then not list. What
Okay,
it is.
so I'll list this podcast in the description of this episode.
not.
I don't know how well it'll translate to Spotify. The link it should be a URL, but definitely YouTube.
Yes.
It'll put a nice URL in there.
And Apple. Will.
Scroll to the very end of the episode and you'll see this interaction. And if you're on YouTube, I'm 99% sure it'll be the most replayed. So if you scroll
Yes.
all the way down to see where it
This
says
part.
most replayed,
Yes.
you'll get to this part.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Martin's-
Maybe not everyone would appreciate it as much as we do.
No,
But
I
the subtle
think it's
nuances and
hilarious.
everything that happens in this moment were just so funny.
Look at
Just
the
naturally funny.
look at the camera.
Martin.
Martin's taking over the podcast. It is funny.
Martin is our Pauly Shore in this moment. Marty Shore.
This is gonna no offense to Pauly Shore. I think Martin is more aware of his surroundings than Pauly Shore was in that moment, and that's saying something.
Now, again, I may sound like a fake comedy fan, but I'm not really sure much of Pauly's background. I mean, I've
don't know
seen maybe
anything.
a couple movies that he's in. I'm pretty sure he voices that one dog in the Goofy movie, doesn't he?
I'll look it up.
I swear he voices that dog, because they're all dogs, in the Goofy movie, the one with like the glasses that's kind of like almost insinuated that he's like a hippie stoner. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah.
What's that character's name? I'm sorry, guys. I need
Bobby Zimmer.
Bobby.
Bobby something. Bobby Zimmer something.
That sounds. I don't know. Just the name Bobby sounds like a funny character's name for Pauly Shore. And the other movie I remember him in is like some military movie where he like shoots a rocket launcher backwards.
I think that there was.
But I don't remember the name of that movie, nor do I really remember anything else about it besides that. With that being said,
In the army now.
that's the
don't
name
know.
of the movie?
He's got a lot of movies.
He wasn't a stand-up comic, was he?
Martin.
I'm sure he probably was.
Your cousin.
Come here.
I don't know.
Again, I probably sound so like, oh my god, you don't even know about Pauly's comedy career.
Who cares? He never claimed to be a fucking...
I know him well enough to know that this interaction is comic gold.
Yes.
And that's frankly it. We didn't address what you pulled out of the mini fridge. What do you got there?
So it's an Olipop cream soda.
Ooh.
I put another little soda in there too. Taste it.
You did what?
Taste it.
You did what?
I put another little soda in there.
Huh?
I put half of another soda in there too. Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
The mini fridge put...
Did you sneak something in there without the mini fridge's permission?
Yeah. Don't tell the mini fridge. Try it though. Try it.
I'm not gonna drink that. I might get cursed.
Just try it.
Okay, fine. There's not very much left.
No, I know. So don't drink all of it, please.
Do you always smell something before you try it?
No, I never do that. No.
You don't have very good survival instincts.
My Uncle Kevin does that.
I feel like that's basic survival 101. Smell something before you try it.
Maybe.
I'm going to smell it again. It kind of smells like cotton candy. Tastes like really flat
Well, it has been open
raspberry Sprite.
Yeah, it's raspberry.
Is it really?
My raspberry, magnesium soda, and then the Olipop cream soda. 10 out of 10 combination. Anywho, you said you had something that...
I did have something in case the podcast lulled.
Oh. Well, do you want to do it?
Oh, yeah, we can do it. I mean, we got about 20 minutes here. So,
20 minutes left to do?
Yeah, we're at 40 minutes, and I typically try to go for an hour.
Yeah.
But there is no, hard set rules. Sometimes we go for, one time we went 2.5 hours, and that was a fucking... Anyways, so, as always, whenever I'm struggling to come up with a podcast topic, or, if I'm ever needing a little more inspiration, just hop on the good old interwebs, and, I like to keep it basic. Last time we did this, I believe it was an episode. I don't remember the number, but I titled it Best Podcasters because I thought, in my mind, we're so good at podcasting we could talk about any topic, and I just searched up random things to talk about.
Yeah.
This episode, I searched funny things to talk about.
Okay.
And let me tell you, there are some funny things that the internet has come up with for us to talk about.
Hit me.
I don't think you're ready.
Okay.
First thing on the list. If you got to choose your name, what would it be and why?
I wouldn't change my name.
What a fucking hilarious question.
I think if I was one of the boys, I'd be laughing at you, but I'm just so used to...
You don't think I'm funny. It's okay. We'll move on.
I live with you. I'm with you,
I love my name. I love the name Jake. It's such a clean name.
Would you change... Actually, I have a better question. Would you change my name?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would make it so you have to go by Magdalena for everything. I'm just kidding.
So long.
I'm just kidding.
Such a mouthful. Magdalena.
No, Lena's a good name.
I would change your name. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Jeez.
I'm just kidding.
I had I think what assured me that I liked my name is there was a period on all the Nickelodeon and Disney shows that whenever there was a hot
they were named
love
Jake.
interest, their name was Jake. In Hannah Montana, there was a Jake. In iCarly, I think there was a Jake.
Yeah.
And I was just because everyone who's anyone that's hot is named Jake. So I'm just I'm definitely a Jake.
You know what the girls say? Guys with J names are the worst. You don't trust a guy with J name. But I think you're fine.
I am fine. Next question. What TV show would you want to be in? Which one would you not want to be in? Not want to be in Naked and Afraid.
Correct. Agreed.
Let me correct that. To Catch a Predator. Just kidding.
Either one. Those are both great.
That is definitely not a TV show you would ever want to find yourself
Fuck
in.
no, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, okay, but you don't want to be into Catch a Predator because
at that point, being on the show is...
Even if you aren't a predator, your reputation is then ruined because you're on To Catch a Predator. You know what I mean?
If you're not the predator, I think you're pretty much fine.
I know, but the only reason you would... What I'm saying is, like, the only way you would be on that show is if you're helping... What's his name? Chris? Right?
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen? Or if they...
But why would you be a bad guy if you were helping the guy catch a predator?
No,
Am I missing something here?
Listen to me. I said the only two ways you would be on that show...
Right.
...is if you specifically, and me specifically for that instance, the only two ways we would be on that show is if we're helping...
Be the bait.
If we're... Oh, yeah, true.
You could be the bait girl.
Okay, maybe three ways for me. If we're helping Chris, if I'm the bait, or if they've mistakenly thought we were a predator, and then they barge in the fucking door.
Oh, okay.
But I guess they have the bait there, so there's no mistaking.
There's no mistaking. I mean, they're
I
luring them in with texts.
I kind of forgot that there was...
How would you accidentally stumble
I forgot there was the bait. I thought they just did it, like, online, like they found... Like, I forgot there was a girl quite literally there that they think is underage.
But then they're giving them a specific address to show up at.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would accidentally show up there.
I forgot about that part of the show.
Okay,
Clearly you don't watch it. Anywho, whatever. Yeah, Naked and Afraid, no fun. What show would you want to be on?
What show would I want to be on? I don't know why I immediately went to Seinfeld, but that's not like a real show.
No, I think it has to be like a reality show.
I've never really had any affiliation or with like Survivor or anything like that. Any of those shows that are like game shows, I'm always like, I would be too dumb for this.
I wouldn't want to be on.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm already in a relationship, so it would negate it anyway, but I wouldn't want to be on, like, Too Hot to Handle or The Bachelorette or shit like that.
I guess it would be pretty cool, like, being on Animal Planet and watching Steve Irwin, like, wrestle a croc.
I was thinking that, or, like, Nat Geo has a new show. It might already be out. I don't know.
Oh, I know what it is. The
Aquafina?
No. I know what the real... There is a correct answer.
Can I finish my
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I would either want to be with... See, now here's the thing. I would either want to be on a show with the Irwins, but really only so I could get close to Robert. And then the other one...
Me too.
And he's a snack. The other thing I was going to say is...
Would you let him dangle some chicken in front of your face and be like, look at how territorial they are?
No.
You wouldn't want him to wrestle you like a croc?
No, I didn't say no to that. I just
She's doing the death roll. I'm Chris Hansen. It all comes together. And there's our funny clip.
Ha 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 ha. Oh. Or
I am jotting it down.
Okay, good. So I'll get to finish my sentence then while Jake gets preoccupied. So, or I would want to do, like, Nat Geo has a new show coming out and it's like A Bug's Life. So it like is all about bugs, but Aquafina is narrating it. And they just had one with like Ryan Reynolds where he was narrating it too. I think it was called The Underdog or something. That would be kind of cool. I don't even have to be on TV. I just could narrate it. But I don't know if I have a voice for narrating. At this point, I'm just talking to fill the space because Jake's...
Oh, well, I'll tell you what the correct answer is.
Okay, hit me.
Drivers, Dine-Ins, and Drives.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That is 100% the correct answer.
Where you would be Guy Fieri.
Oh, yeah. Just driving around the country and eating tons of amazing food.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what show you'd want to
Or
be
like
on.
the Anthony Bourdain. Well... I'm down to try anything. So Anthony Bourdain might not be the one for you, but I would enjoy that.
You could be like Cam and say, I'll try everything once. Even though the saying is, I'll try anything once. But Cam says, I'll try everything once.
I'm kind of with him on that. Well, actually,
You'll try everything once?
No.
That's why it doesn't work. Because it can't be everything. It's anything.
I'm not trying hard drugs, no.
Right. Number 3. Do you have a secret talent And it says, can you do it right now?
I have lots of double jointed.
I feel like that's everyone's go-to to having a secret talent, but it's really not. Like, I can kind of bend my elbow the wrong way a little bit.
Have you seen me bend my elbows?
No way, dude.
Have you seen me bend my elbows?
Secret talent. I don't know why I said that. Actually, like I had a speech.
You know what my secret talent is? My boss pointed this out the other day. Yesterday. He was trying to push my buttons. Fair enough. That's fine. I was clearly stressed out, and he was trying to lighten the mood. And he goes over to my other boss and whispers something to her, and I heard it from across the room, and they were all so surprised that I could hear it. But I do have pretty good hearing.
I mean, I don't know if that's a secret talent. It might just be like
then what's
biological superiority.
Maybe it's my superpower.
I don't know if I have a secret talent. Being tall, pretty good at being tall. As I just say, a biological superiority.
I was gonna say that's not a secret talent either. But see,
being so funny and charismatic without...
That's not a secret.
Oh. You're right. It's not very much of a secret.
That's the thing. Who has a talent that they keep a secret? In this day and age, you don't have a talent that you keep a secret.
That is an interesting caveat to the question.
Is that it's a secret.
That is kind of funny.
What's the next question?
Yeah, okay. That's kind of... When you were a kid, what name did you give your favorite toy or stuffed animal?
I had a little Beanie Baby husky. Mm-hmm. And his name was Juno.
That's cute.
But I don't think I named him that. I think he already was named that.
Oh.
Actually...
Okay, I'm so glad I remembered this.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, my blanket's name was Blanky.
Very creative.
And I was worried I forgot his name, but I do remember. I had like a little stuffed like beagle.
Yeah.
That was about yay long and about yay tall, and its feet had like beads in it, so they're kind of heavy. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I named him Brownie.
Do you guys see where all the creativity comes from? He's had it since he was little.
What?
And so creative.
Having him named Brownie?
Yeah. Was he brown?
Well, he was white and had a little brown on his like head.
Oh.
Are you saying that's not very creative because it's just a color with the E at the end? Fuck you. If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
Fuck you.
Fuck Lena. Fuck Lena. Fuck Lena.
Motherfucker.
Get me a beer. No, what would be funny to have it say? Martin. Martin.
We say that enough. We're basically the parrot.
I know, that'd be so funny if it like called the cats and they're like, why is it saying my name? What if we had a parrot and taught it to say the cat's names and they viewed it as like an authority extension where they're just like, it can say my name too and call me over to it?
I don't think Rue would bow down. Martin probably would. But
what are we talking about? A bird with cats? They would try to eat it.
Yeah. What's the next question?
Yeah, Rue would fucking go straight for that thing's jugular. If you could make the ultimate sandwich, what would be on it? What the fuck are these?
I actually think that's a great question.
You like that's a good question?
Because a good sandwich, all sandwiches are good, but a good sandwich.
No.
A good sandwich.
If you were to make the ultimate sandwich.
I know. What I'm saying is like a top tier sandwich. When you have that, it fucking hits.
Right.
Do you have an answer for the ultimate sandwich?
Basically, whenever I'm preparing something for myself to eat, I'm trying to make it the ultimate version of whatever it is.
Yes, but you don't always have access to the ingredients to make that.
Sure.
So what would...
I guess, I mean, I love hard salami.
You do love hard salami, yeah.
I like crunchy pickles, but I don't always put the crunchy pickles on it. So sometimes I'll have them off to the side, and I don't know if this question is incorporating side...
I think it counts.
Items.
I think it counts. So many sandwiches are served with a pickle. I think it counts.
I like crunchy. I like having kettle cooked chips with it.
I don't know if I put them on there.
I don't know if I always would put them on. Again, with the pickles and chips, I might have them on the side and like pop them in while I'm eating it.
Yeah.
So I can experience it. Because sometimes putting the chips on, you can only get a finite amount on there before they're falling out of the sides, and you're trying to pick it up, and it makes it more cumbersome to hold.
Yeah.
A little bit of Hellman's mayo. And just some kind of cheese.
That's it? That's your ultimate sandwich?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, I'm putting caviar, some prime rib, fried in liquid molten gold. I don't know. That doesn't really even make any sense.
So, I've had a sandwich at Buy Sandwiches that was a croissant, and then it had cream cheese, bean sprouts, avocado, turkey, cheese, and that was pretty fucking good. The other thing I will say is I've had a few Jersey Mikes that hit the fucking spot. And it usually is an Italian sub with a little bit of oil, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper. You got those Italian
You want
meats.
the works?
So I think if you... and
I feel like it should be a cardinal rule that you have to be Italian and work in a sandwich or pizza place.
I'm gonna...
Just kidding. I don't know. I just think they make it makes it a little bit better. The ambiance of the...
Fair enough.
What you want on it, huh?
Yeah. I also think...
Yeah.
Moving on.
Shutting that right down.
I also think you can't forget the vegetables because that always adds freshness to the sandwich.
I can forget them.
Jake does not have any... The pickle is as vegetable as it gets. But I would probably do like shredded lettuce.
I'll fuck with some lettuce.
Some lettuce. Maybe some sliced cucumber on there. The tomato's got to be good if it's going to be on the sandwich. If it's a mushy tomato, no. Not the ultimate sandwich. So somehow I would have a baby between those two. And that's my ultimate sandwich.
What's the funniest thing you've read recently? No, we're going to breeze over that because you're going to say something not good. What item do you hope will be obsolete in 20 years? Probably also want to breeze over that because Lena will probably say something political. If you were famous, what would your stage name be? Big Jake. Big Jake. Grass Daddy. The Grass Daddy.
What would mine
Daddy
be?
Long Legs.
I don't know what mine would be.
Bean Sprout. The Bean. Little Lean.
Yeah.
Sippin' Lena.
That's more nickname than... The fuck?
Like Sippin' Lean, but Lena.
Oh. Those are
Lean on me when you're not strong.
Lean on me. What's next?
What character from a movie, book, or show do you relate to the most and why?
Danny, Midsummer.
What the fuck?
I'm just kidding.
You realize she's going through like a bad relationship in that movie after her entire family is killed?
Yeah. It's the first thing that popped into my head.
That's the worst person anyone could ever be associated to.
No. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
What do you think will be on oldies radio in 30 years?
We're skipping over the...
Higher by Creed. Nickelback.
Those are already kind of considered oldies.
No, but they're not being played on the radio.
Yeah, they are.
No, the fuck they're not.
Nickelback is for...
On the radio? What radio station?
Nickelback is for sure being played on the radio.
What radio station?
107.3.
No way.
94.1. 98.5. They for sure have.
Okay, you're just naming stations I have yet to hear.
I literally grew up listening to it on the radio.
You grew up, but not now. You grew up listening to it when it was out in its time on the radio. But the question is when they're going to be... What's the one item you can't live without? Diva Cup? No, I can't.
I could use a tampon if I needed to.
True. You could live without it.
So there's a... What's your answer?
One item I can't live without? Coffee maker...
But you could.
Bed. I mean, that's kind of a cop-out. Like,
you
obviously.
could go get coffee. Like, you could still get coffee if you didn't have a coffee maker.
Martin. He's not an item. I don't know if that counts.
He's our property. Yeah.
I want to think of it logistically like refrigerator. Like, obviously, I can't live without a refrigerator. But that's boring.
Yeah.
a roof, a house. Can't live without that. That's boring.
I think anything you could argue, like, you could do this alternative.
Honestly, probably, like, my smartphone.
I was thinking that. I mean, I was
It
without
sucks to
TikTok
say.
for 12 hours, and I was tweaking the fuck out. Actually, I wasn't. I was kind of okay. I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but I was fine.
I love YouTube.
You do love YouTube.
It is...
Jake will watch anything that he finds interesting. You will pull up, and this is a compliment, you will find the most random, interesting video that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll sit here and watch this.
It could be, like, geography-based, statistic-based. It could be...
some dude in the woods building a fort.
Right. We got invested into a guy building a fort that was on, like, an old tree.
Yeah.
We're like, what else does this guy have? Like,
Yeah.
there's so much
Arm wrestling.
content on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I find a lot of things interesting.
Yes.
So,
I think it's honestly good. You've got more knowledge about a bunch of things you've not
Right.
necessarily ever done, but like...
and I'm not necessarily using it to gain knowledge or expand my... It's just there's a lot of things I find interesting, and there's so many things on... You can search basically... If you're
Anything.
thinking about, like, I wonder... You know, like, just there's so many things, like, I like watching, like... Recently, I was watching, like, some video game speedruns.
Yeah.
I like watching speedruns because they're super satisfying, how people have found the most, like, optimized way to complete a game the fastest way possible.
Yeah.
It's, like, super satisfying to watch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I, like, showed you about, like, that controversial, like, video game thing. And you can just, like, if you can think of something,
It's on YouTube.
it's on YouTube and you can watch it.
Yeah.
It's basically like a free... It's almost like a person's imagination in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine it, you can search it on YouTube and watch it.
Yep, literally.
Anyways, that got a little deep and introspective. We're on an hour. We can quit or keep going. There's a couple more decently funny questions.
Do a couple
in here.
more.
What is your favorite line from any movie? Dead air.
I have an answer, but it's not funny.
Should we do funny line, serious line, motivational line? I could probably think of a couple.
I don't know. Can I tell just the one I have, and then you can go, and then I can think?
Yeah.
So the one I have is
From The Proposal.
No.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go.
No, it's from the Lorax, and it was also my senior quote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. That's my favorite quote of a movie.
That's good. That's a good line.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I mean, where do we begin? There's so many. I mean, You Bow to No One got a tear out of you at the end of the third Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like 300 has some badass fucking lines in it. Like, I brought more soldiers than you did, or we'll fight in the shade. Mm-hmm. That's a badass line. This isn't a favorite line, but recently I used it. So I got a promotion at my job recently. Keep the applause down, but there's a line in The Dark Knight that Harvey Dent says, and I told it to my coworkers that, well, there are now my
subordinates.
I guess I'm above them and I'm technically their boss now. But I said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, since I'm their boss now. That's not necessarily a funny line, but that's just a line I've been thinking of. I don't know. There's probably a lot of like Lord of the Rings types of things. Ooh, a good one is Dumbledore has some good lines.
Dumbledore has some great lines.
What is his big hitter? It's
the darkness one.
What is it?
He says something like,
"Oh,
you just need to turn on the light."
Turn on the light.
Let's look up some Dumbledore.
Yeah, look up some Dumbledore quotes, and that'll be a good way to end it. let me before you read them off. I'm trying to think of the one. It is not our actions that defines us, it's our choices. I believe that's his line. Because he says it at the end of the first one, I think, when he's talking about, or it might be later on when Harry's worried about if he got mischosen by the Sorting Hat and he thinks he's supposed to be in Slytherin. And Dumbledore says it's not our actions that define us. He's like, do you know why you got picked in Gryffindor? And he's like, because you wanted to be.
Something like that, yes.
Do you have them pulled up?
Yeah. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.
Yep.
To the well.
Wait. That is.
It doesn't tell me when it happens.
Oh,
but
fuck.
You can try and guess.
What is it?
Is it when he's looking?
It's when he's looking. Yeah, it's when he's looking at the mirror.
Yeah.
In the first movie.
And he sees his parents because it shows you whatever you truly want. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure.
That's got to be like in a book. I don't think that's in a movie.
Yeah. It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities.
Again, I think that's from the book, but...
Oh, you don't think that's the...
That's not from the movie.
Okay.
It might be that line, but they just did it different for the movie.
Yeah, maybe
and also, I think that quote might be when he's at King's Cross, when he's dead.
Yes.
But again, might be from the book, because he doesn't say that in the movie.
Yeah, true. Okay.
I don't think.
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the light.
That's in the fourth one, Goblet of Fire, when he goes like this. And the candle flickers back on.
Yes, and he's speaking to all the students.
Yep. Because he's talking about the... Yep. I can't remember.
I think he's talking... Well, whatever.
Wait a minute.
It's not the Goblet of Fire. Is it
It's the Prisoner of Azkaban, because it's when he's talking about the Dementors.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think. Which is... the first movie that version of Dumbledore is in.
Love Dumbledore.
These people are like, the guys listening
Fucking
are like,
nerds.
these people cannot stick to one fucking topic on this podcast. Like, oh, you want to listen to the Grass Daddies Podcast? What do they talk about? Fucking, I don't even know. They talked about Dr. Phil and Pauly Shore. They talked about fucking...
We're well-rounded people. There's two more. Do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
Dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy. It's got to be
like probably after
Voldemort has showed up.
Yeah. Probably. Again, that might be a book. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty good with movie quotes because I can picture their face saying it because I'm a super recognizer. Anyways. What's the last one? Wait. What?
I found some better ones.
Okay.
I'll just pick a couple of them.
Pick a couple. Save the best one and have it be the outro quote.
Okay.
And I'll let you give the outro quote. And then I'll drop the beat.
I'm going to do
But do a couple first.
Okay. People find it far easier to forgive others for being wrong than being right.
Your blood is far more precious than mine, Harry. That's not a quote, but that's a funny quote.
Curiosity.
But it is so funny when he's like, you should have let me do that. And he's like, oh, no. Like, why would you? Anyways.
It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. Is that what he's talking about?
Gotta be book. And I have read the books. I just
don't remember.
It's hard to remember specifically when he said it, when it's not movie version saying it, because I can picture when and what it's about.
Honestly, he's got so many.
All right, pick the best one
to do for the outro.
Wait, first, thank you guys all for watching. Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio only. Subscribe, like, comment on YouTube. Go follow us on TikTok, Instagram for updates and funny clips and whatnot. Thank you, Lena, for sitting in on me, for me, with me. What?
Did you pause? Did you stop it?
No, it's still going. You weren't actually a last resort, even though you kind of were, but we probably should record more often. The only reason I don't have Lena on more often is because it would be so easy for you to just sit in, and I don't want it to just be like every other episode it's just Jake and his girlfriend. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm going to shut up, but thank you guys all for watching. Until next time.
Words are, in my not-so-humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it. I thought
that was me dropping the beat.
I think that was a very fitting one, considering we just talked for an hour.
Right.
Using words, right?
They're our most inexhaustible source of...
Somebody's got some dandruff.
Are
you ready for supper?
Martin.
I'm hungry.
Martin.
Are we done?
Martin.